Hello, farming friends. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims and another adventure on Paradise Hills. This is episode number 14, and we start a brand new day. This is day 6. It's just after 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're getting an early start to our day today. Now, normally, I talked about in previous episodes, I talked about the fact that I like to take care of my field work and everything first, and then do sort of all the other tasks around the farm afterwards. We're going to kind of change the schedule around just a little bit. We're actually going to do something a bit unique. Today is obviously harvest day. And by the way, I did figure out how to get the duals on this Fendt tractor. Today is harvest day for field number 1. We will be harvesting that field later today, probably in a different episode, not in this episode. But today we are going to hook up to this plow. And no, we're not going to plow up all of the we're not going to plow up all of the grass that we planted over in field 4. Instead, we're going to hook up to this plow and we are going to go down and plow up. Oops. We are going to go down as soon as I get this plow hooked up, and my apologies. Um, it's a bit of an awkward position here where they deliver these things. There we go. We'll just do the manual or the automatic attach there, and then we will head down. So what we're going to do is we are going to plow up field number 5, and we're going to put an orchard in field number 5. Field number 5 was the pre-planted grass field that sort of came on the map. We mowed that field twice. Once pretty much did the entire field mowing and collecting the grass on camera, and then I think in episode 12 or so I did sort of an edited version of mowing the field, and I at least started in that field and then cut a lot of the video out and picked up as we were wrapping up the picking up of all the grass and stuff. So we'll turn our beacons on and we'll head down to this field. And now you don't have to. We're going to be actually planting apple and apple, pear, and perhaps a couple of other like a plum tree or something like that. You certainly don't have to plow the field to do that. You could actually just plot these trees right in. They're basically placeable. They're mods that you can get. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in those mods, like everything else, you'll find them on that mod spreadsheet that I've talked about before. Just go to grizzlybearsims.com and look there on the right hand side for the add-on and mods directory. But we will go ahead and unfold the plow and head down here and turn on our GPS. And let's just get out of cab for a moment, because we need to turn that off, and we need to get our working width set. We need to go ahead and flip that around and come down here like that. And let's take a look. That might be pretty good right there. And we will zoom in just a little bit, back up just a little bit. Oops. And we will turn and get started here. And we need our F1 menu back up. We're going to allow the creation of fields, and we are going to lower the plow. And we're going to get started here. And this Fendt 1050 just really does does a good job here on this. As I was saying, you don't have to go to this extra effort. You don't have to plow the field. What we're going to do is I'm going to plow the field. I'm probably going to do an edit here after the first or second pass, and then we'll come back and we're going to cultivate it just so that it's nice and smooth, and then we'll come in here and we'll strategically try to plop the trees down as best as possible, and just to kind of make it a little bit easier to harvest them. Okay, and we will lift the plow. And I think what we will do is we will come around and we are going to just try to square this up just a little bit. Just like that. We will lift it up and we will flip our path around, and then we'll drive around and come back down this direction. And sorry, I'm not talking much, I'm just trying to concentrate a bit on this. And there we go. Walk onto that. Move this in just a smidge here, like into that. Get rid of that. And let's swing around, get a good straight start at it. We go. I think it looks a little bit nicer when you have a nice plowed, cultivated field that you can then put your fruit trees into. You can still do, we might seed some grass sort of in between the rows, something that we can get into if we want to mow it where it looks nice, but I think it just looks a little bit better that way. Even if you don't put the grass down between the rows, I think it looks better on a fresh cultivated field. Plus it gives us something else to do here on the farm, right? we go. Freshly plowed field. And we are ready for the cultivator now. So we will run the plow back up to the main farm, and we'll pick up our cultivator and then come back down and smooth all that out and get that ready to plant with some trees. Our grass field over to your right is coming along quite nicely. I believe that will be ready to cut probably tomorrow or maybe later this afternoon. Our wheat field obviously is ready to be harvested, so we will do that later today. Plus we also need to tend to our other fields, either spray fertilizer or maybe water, whatever needs to be done. We also need to check on everything else. We need to check on our animals. They're probably fine, but we still need to check on them. We need to check on our greenhouses, and we're also going to get a couple of other greenhouses going down at the southeast farm. We've got a couple of greenhouses down there that I discovered yesterday. Well, I didn't really discover them, but I sort of remembered that they were there. And so I'm just going to move this over here and drop this guy off. Like that, and we will get back up in this guy and spin around, and we're going to grab our large cultivator and take it down because it will make a lot quicker work out of the job than And before we go up there, I will go into our shop really quick and go into our garage, and we will go ahead and send back the plow because we don't need it anymore, and we'll pay the wash fee on that, and that will be done. All right, so let's take the cultivator down, and we will do this again. I will do some crafty edits in post-production so that you don't have to sit through this entire process, but it won't take long. I am really loving this tractor. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Fendt, maybe the 1050, is going to be in FS17. I think. Would certainly be nice because this is one nice tractor. So see, as you can tell, this is gonna make light work out of the job at hand. And we will do automatic width, and let's run down here and set that's pretty good right there, I believe. Lower cultivator. I guess it already was lowered. And we will smooth all this out. This will look much, much nicer, as you can tell. Not bad dirt textures there. And this will look a lot nicer, as I said. I love the bounce. That, and this field has been plowed and cultivated, and it is ready for some fruit trees. Go ahead and fold our cultivator up, and we will move our tractor and cultivator over here off to the side out of the way, and let's take a look at some fruit trees. go into our mods and we want placeables. And so we've got cherry trees, we've got plum tree and an orange tree. And we've got apple trees, pear trees, and then we've got some sell point kiosks and such as that, as well as some storefronts, which I don't know what that is. Spring water and water exit, so a drain of some kind. So we will, let's see, sell for orange, pear, strawberry, plum, cherry, grapes. So we may look at something like this. You know, we've got some, if we look at our map right quick as well, we've got some really nice, we've got some really nice level gravel areas. Like here is one that is vacant. It's just an empty gravel lot. There might be one here. So we've got some opportunities where we can maybe set up some of these storefronts, or actually maybe if we have room down here, maybe at the end, field 5, we could also do that as well. Um, Lots of opportunities. So let's go ahead and get rid of that, and let's get back into our store and go back to mods and placeables. And let's just start with some apple trees, and we will plant. Let's see, where am I? Here we are. Okay, I'll go up here to the top. And what we want to do is we want to make sure we leave ourselves plenty of room to drive in between. So we will plop one. We'll start there. That looks as good a place as any. And let them have a little bit of room to grow. And like that. And like that. Like that. Alright, so we'll go a little bit further. Like that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, we can always come back and do some more. So let's go with some pear trees now and find out where we are. And here's where our pear trees can live. And again, I want to make sure that we have plenty of room to get in with our trailer. Small tractor and trailer just to come along and harvest these guys. pear trees are obviously just a little bit smaller than the apple trees, so they're not gonna line up in front of each other just perfect, but we'll sort of do the best that we can. And let's see, what else do we want to put in here? Cherry, plum, orange. So let's go with some orange trees. Just a nice little orchard we've got going here. Okay. And what about some plums? Now, of course, I realize that unless we spray some herbicide through here or spread some herbicide through here, we will get some weed infestation that will grow. And that's not going to really hurt our our fruit trees. And how about some cherry trees? All right. So let's just kind of take a little walk and see. Um, we'll just drive through and see, make sure we have plenty of room. I think we should. We won't use this tractor obviously because this is quite a large tractor. But yeah, we've got plenty of room to drive a small tractor and a small trailer and harvest these fruit trees, and maybe even be able to run the spreader through here occasionally to take out the weeds. Oops. All right, well that I think that's going to work out nicely. So let's grab a hold of our cultivator and let's get this back to the farm. And we'll just grab that the easy way and we'll head back to the farm. All right, well, hello and welcome back. This is the same episode. I decided sort of after the fact to put these two recordings together. I was going to make a full episode out of the previous recording, which consists of the uh, plowing the creating the orchard and that sort of thing. But that was quite short because I did some editing and everything because I didn't think you guys would be interested in watching me plow and cultivate that entire field. So I decided to go ahead and bring us back together and go ahead and take care of the harvesting field number one, which is that wheat field. So this is sort of the first time that we are doing a harvest after implementing the soil mod. So hopefully we will have done a decent job with our planning, and yeah. So we will just pull our harvester out of the garage here, out of the shed, and back it up to our header. All right. Well, I certainly hope everyone has had a wonderful day. As I'm recording this session this evening, this is Friday evening, the 14th of October. So officially we have just 2 more weekends to get through before FS17 releases. I certainly cannot wait, and I'm sure that you feel the same way. Swing around and pick up our header. All right, so I think what we want to do is, I think we've got plenty of room on the ends to turn around, so we're just going to do a up and back, and yeah, so let's see. Go ahead and unfold. Should be leaving the swath, and he is. Good, good, good. So we will hire a worker for this task, and we will go up and grab one of our tractors. We'll grab our new Fendt here, since we certainly like that one so much. And go up and grab a tipper. Just perform the role of the tractor tipper driver and empty our combine. And here's hoping for a good harvest of both wheat, because we certainly want to have a plentiful harvest of wheat, but we also are hoping that our yield of straw is also quite plentiful as well. So as we sit here and wait for our harvester to return, just wanted to, let me just double check and see. We don't have any wheat at all, so our count is zeroed out, so we can tell what sort of harvest we get. And is he already full? Wow, okay, well that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So we will need to alright, so we will jump out. And go ahead and take him off of Auto Combine for a minute. As we empty our first load. That's good. If I'm not mistaken, I think we barely got one full tipper of wheat from the base crop, from the crop that was part of the default map. And so I'm not sure, I'm not sure how many passes the harvester made relative to I'm not sure how many passes the harvester made relative to the field. But I think we're looking pretty good. So of course time will tell, and we'll just try to do a little bit better job of making sure that we empty this guy before he does his turn. That way we don't have to. That way we don't have to interrupt his work there. Just go around the barns here. So that was 21% of this tipper, and he is already at 36% full. So my guess is much of this wheat crop is probably going to go in our silos and probably be converted into seeds, because that's what we used all of the wheat crop for off the initial harvest, was for seeds. And so that's what we will do more than likely with this one. And then of course I'm kind of waiting to see. Our corn field will not be ready for harvest until tomorrow, until day 7. So that would be Sunday, game day, day 7. And I'm kind of waiting to see what our newly planted grass field is going to kind of look like, and may actually plan to start the mowers on that grass field before we make the decision as to what we're going to do with the cornfield. If the grass field looks like it's going to produce quite a bit of grass, and it should because it's a massive field, then we will probably take the grass and split the yield between our farm use for our cows. So in other words, we'll probably fill up the bunker here at this farm with grass to convert that to silage, and then we will take some additional grass and obviously fill up our grass, our loose grass storage for the mixed rations, for cows, for sheep, and then maybe if we have like a huge abundance of grass, then maybe send some of it down to the BGA, or maybe even more importantly, send the rest of it to the compost mixer. So if all of that can play out the way that I've described it, then we will harvest the cornfield as corn, using the corn header. Put that in our grain silos, and either wait until we have a high demand, or just go ahead and sell it. But if the grass field doesn't look like it's going to be ready to harvest or to mow, or if it doesn't look like we're going to have much of a yield off of it, then we may actually cut the corn field into chaff and turn it into silage. But of course, the grass field will grow back, relatively quick compared to planting a cornfield and waiting for that to come about. So but I think I'm pretty sure we're going to get a pretty good yield off of that grass field. At least I hope so. So this nice Fendt has a, if you notice up in the upper right hand corner up there, it's got a nice FM radio, FM stereo in here. FS17 will have the capabilities of streaming radio. There will be a few radio stations built into FS17, much like we have for ATS and ETS2. And then there will also be more or less the same way of adding in internet stations, streaming stations into the game as well. So you'll be able to farm along as we're doing now, and be able to listen to your favorite radio stations or your favorite kind of music. So that'll be certainly cool. I downloaded some additional mods that I'll be showing you throughout the rest of this series, which I think are kind of cool. And we're at 65%, so not bad. And I believe we're about the halfway point for this field. So we should get at least maybe a tipper and a half out of this. So maybe this is I believe this is a 60, maybe a 60,000 liter tipper. So yeah, the FM stations, that'll be cool with FS17. I'm going to go ahead and empty this guy just a wee bit early. I normally would wait until I was either at 100% or maybe a little bit closer, but since we are just right here at our silos, and because I want to make sure that I can get back to the harvester before he turns around, we will just go ahead and dump early. Go. So load number 1. So hopefully we can, well, I'd like to get another 30,000 liters if possible out of this field. Our cows are doing fine. Just pull up our PDA right quick and take a look at what our animals need. You know, our chickens, eventually I'll give them some water and some wheat. It's, you know, they run at 100% without it, so I've never really been bothered by it. I tend to work a little harder at making sure that our cows and our sheep are running above 100%. You know, they'll go to 110% each, the productivity of those. So we're doing fine on all of those levels. You know, with this straw, obviously we were completely out of straw. So with the straw that we get off this field, we'll fill up our mixing station. And you know, don't forget, we also planted barley in the southeast portion of the map, so we will have straw that will come off of that field. But we will we won't be wasteful with, not really sure where he's going. We may have to go down and give him a pointer or two. But we won't be wasteful with our straw and turn it into compost like we did before. You know, hard work is just hard. Good work is hard to find, isn't it? There you go. Well, at least he didn't do that gigantic circle through the corn. That would have been devastating. With my screw up on the double watering, you know, our yield is going to be slightly off. And so that would have actually hurt. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I know in one of the episodes I had sort of questioned why it wasn't creating the tram lines when I was spraying, and I figured out that I was running an older version of the drive control mod, and so when I upgraded to the latest and greatest version, then it started adding the tram lines. So that's a little bit more realistic, especially when you're spraying, you know, after the fact, after the plant growth has already begun to grow. Looks like he's got maybe one more pass, so 17,000. Maybe we'll get another 12 or 13,000 out of him. We'll come close to 30. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and drive this on up here and empty him out. 9,000, so not quite what I'd hoped for, but beggars can't be choosers, right? And I will make sure that I keep more accurate notes. I think I'd mentioned before that, you know, doing the video stuff, and you know, it's not as easy as it looks up here. And I know quite a few of the guys that have started following my stream, YouTube folks, they will, I believe, agree with me that, oops, gotta unfold those legs first. There we go. Anyway, they'll agree with me that, you know, it's not as easy as things go, and I think sometimes, at least with me, because I want to make sure that I do everything as realistic as possible, and I want to make sure that I tell you all the right information as well, whether I'm explaining something about soil mod or you know, whatever. So we'll pull this guy up over here, park him up, and we'll put him away later this afternoon, because we won't need him again until maybe tomorrow. Just kind of depends about that cornfield. Not sure what we'll do. All right, so 26,000. let's go ahead and take this guy, take this over here. So let me just, before we dump it, let me write these numbers down in my sheet here. So 55, 458, and 26, 26084. That way we can keep track, and hopefully next time we plant that field, of course, don't know if we'll plant it in wheat or not. That might make for a good field to actually plant in potatoes or in sugar beets, because as the harvest process is a little slower with those, you don't want a massive field. Alright, so that took all of that, sort of as expected. And we will run this guy up to the top of the hill. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here, because I think with our video from earlier with the orchard, I believe that this will pretty much bring us up to our 1 hour, close to our 1 hour mark. And I certainly don't want to go any more than that. I'm still sort of in two minds as to whether to do 1 hour, like 1 hour videos, which would be about the max that I would really care to do, or maybe try to do shorter videos more. I think maybe it's kind of the way I'm looking at this, especially for Paradise Hills and the future of Paradise Hills over the next 2 weeks. The episodes might be a little bit shorter, just because you've kind of seen most everything that we're doing, so I'll probably do a lot more editing. We'll start a harvest and you'll see a few passes, and then I'll edit and kind of condense that and shorten that down just a little bit. All right, so thank you all for watching. I do appreciate that, as always. I'm gonna leave this tractor up here, because we will use it for our forage wagon. Again, this is kind of my new favorite tractor, I think. It's really a joy to drive, and yeah, so it's very nice. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate that, and I hope you have a wonderful day, or evening, or morning, or whatever, wherever you happen to live. I hope you're having a good time, and I really appreciate you watching the videos. And please, if you don't mind, take a few seconds and click the like button. And if you're not subscribing, and if you like the content, please subscribe. That really does help us out a lot. It kind of gives us some motivation that what we're doing is being appreciated, and will help drive us to create more content and get it out there for you guys to enjoy. So thanks a lot. Again, just 2 more weekends as I'm recording this to go for Farming Sim 17. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.